These are her deeds in this huge world ignorance. Till the veil is lifted, till the night is dead, in light or dark she keeps her tireless search. Time is her road of endless pilgrimage. One mighty passion motives all her works. Her eternal lover is her action's cause. For him she leaped forth from the unseen vasts to move here in a stark unconscious world. Its acts are her commerce with her hidden guest. His moods she takes for her heart's passionate molds. In beauty she treasures the sunlight of his smile. Ashamed of her rich cosmic poverty, she cajoles with her small gifts his mightiness, holds with her scenes his looks' fidelity, and woos his large-eyed wandering thoughts to dwell in figures of her million-impulsed force, only to attract her veiled companion and keep him close to her breast in her world cloak, lest from her arms he turn to his formless peace, is her heart's business and her clinging care. Yet when he is most near, she feels him far, for contradiction is her nature's law. Although she is ever in him, and he in her, as if unaware of the eternal tie, her will is to shut God into her works, and keep him as her cherished prisoner, that never they may part again in time. A sumptuous chamber of the spirit's sleep, at first she made a deep interior room, where he slumbers as if a forgotten guest. But now she turns to break the oblivious spell, awakes the sleeper on the sculptured couch. She finds again the presence in the form, and in the light that wakes with him recovers a meaning in the hurry and trudge of time. And through this mind that once obscured the soul passes a glint of unseen deity. Across a luminous dream of spirit space, she builds creation like a rainbow bridge between the original silence and the void. A net is made of the mobile universe. She weaves a snare for the conscious infinite. A knowledge is with her that conceals its steps and seems a mute omnipotent ignorance. A might is with her that makes wonders true. The incredible is her stuff of common fact. Her purposes, her workings, riddles prove. Examined, they grow other than they were. Explained, they seem yet more inexplicable. Even in our world a mystery has reigned. Earth's cunning screen of trivial plainness hides. Her larger levels are of sorceries made. There the enigma shows its splendid prism. There is no deep disguise of commonness. Occult, profound comes all experience. Marvel is ever new, miracle divine. There is a screened burden, a mysterious touch. There is a secrecy of hidden sense. Although no earthen mask weighs on her face, into herself she flees from her own sight. All forms are tokens of some veiled idea whose covered purpose lurks from mind's pursuit, yet is a womb of sovereign consequence. There every thought and feeling is an act, and every act a symbol and a sign, and every symbol hides a living power. A universe she builds from truths and myths, but what she needed most she cannot build. All shown is a figure or copy of the truth, but the real veils from her its mystic face. All else she finds, there lacks eternity. All is sought out, but miss the infinite. A consciousness lit by a truth above was felt. It saw the light, but not the truth. It caught the idea and built from it a world. It made an image there and called it God, yet something true and inward harbored there. The beings of that world of greater life, tenants of a larger air and freer space, live not by the body or in outward things. A deeper living was their seat of self. In that intense domain of intimacy, objects dwell as companions of the soul. The body's actions are a minor script, the surface rendering of a life within. All forces are life's retinue in that world, and thought and body as her handmaids who move. The universal widenesses give her room. All feel the cosmic movement in their acts and are the instruments of her cosmic might. Or their own self, they make their universe. In all who have risen to a greater life, a voice of unborn things whispers to the ear, to their eyes visited by some high sunlight. Aspiration shows the image of a crown, to work out a seed that she has thrown within. To achieve her power in them, her creatures live. Each is a greatness growing towards the heights, or from his inner center oceans out. Encircling ripples of concentric power, they swallow, glutted their environment. Even of that largeness, many a cabin make, in narrower breadths and briefer vistas spent. They live content with some small greatness won. To rule the little empire of themselves, to be a figure in their private world, and make the millions' joys and griefs their own, and satisfy their life motives and life wants, in charge enough and office for this strength, a steward of the person and his fate. This was transition line and starting point, a first immigration into heavenliness for all who cross into that brilliant sphere. These are the kinsmen of our earthly race. This region borders on our mortal state. This wider world our greater movements gives. Its strong formations build our growing selves. Its creatures are our brighter replicas, complete the types we only initiate, and are securely what we strive to be. As if thought out eternal characters, entire, not pulled as we by contrary tides, they follow the unseen leader in the heart. Their lives obey the inner nature's law. There is kept grander store the hero's mold. The soul is the watchful builder of its fate. None is a spirit indifferent and inert. They choose their side, they see the God they adore. A battle is joined between the true and false. A pilgrimage sets out to the divine light. For even ignorance there aspires to know, and shines with the luster of a distant star. There is a knowledge in the heart of sleep, and nature comes to them as a conscious force. An ideal is their leader and their king, aspiring to the monarchy of the sun, they call in truth for their high government. Hold her incarnate in their daily acts and fill their thoughts with her inspired voice and shape their lives into her breathing form, till in her sun-gold Godhead they too share. Or to the truth of darkness they subscribe, whether for heaven or hell they must wage war. Warriors of good, they serve a shining cause, or are evil soldiers in the pay of sin. For evil and good an equal tenure keep, wherever knowledge is ignorance's twin. All powers of life towards their Godhead tend, in the wideness and the daring of that air. Each builds its temple and expands its cult. And sin too, there is a divinity. Affirming the beauty and splendor of her law, she claims life as a natural domain, assumes the world's throne or dons the papal robe. Her worshippers proclaim her sacred right. A red, tired falsehood they revere, worship the shadow of a crooked god, admit the black idea that twists the brain, or lie with the harlot power that slays the soul. A mastering virtue statuesque the pose, or a titan passion goads to a proud unrest. At wisdom's altar their kings and priests, or their life a sacrifice to an idol of power. Or beauty shines on them like a wandering star, too far to reach, passionate they follow her light. In art and life they catch the all-beautiful's ray, and make the world their radiant treasure house. Even common figures are with marvel robed. A charm and greatness locked in every hour awakes the joy which sleeps in all things made. A mighty victory or a mighty fall, a throne in heaven or a pit in hell, the dual energy they have justified and marked their souls with a tremendous seal. Whatever fate may do to them, they have earned. Something they have done, something they have been, they live. Their matter is soul's result and not its cause. In a contrary balance to earth's truth of things, the gross weighs less, the subtle counts for more. On inner values hangs the outer plan. As quivers with a thought the expressive word, as yearns the act with the passion of the soul, this world's apparent sensible design looks vibrant back to some interior might. A mind not limited by external sense gave figures to the spirit's imponderables, the world's impacts without channels registered, and turn into the body's concrete thrill, the vivid workings of a bodiless force. Powers here subliminal that act unseen, or in ambush crouch, waiting behind the wall, came out in front, uncovering their face. The occult grew there overt, the obvious kept, a coward turned and shouldered the unknown, the unseen was felt and jostled visible shapes. In the communion of two meeting minds, thought looked at thought and had no need of speech. Emotion clasped emotion in two hearts. They felt each other's thrill in the flesh and nerves, or melted each in each and grew immense, as when two houses burn and fire joins fire. Hate grappled hate, and love broke in on love. Will wrestled with will on mind's invisible ground, other sensations passing through like waves, left quivering the subtle body's frame. Their anger rushed, galloping in brute attack, a charge of trampling hoofs on shaken soil. One felt another's grief invade their breast, another's joy exulting ran through the blood. Hearts could draw close through distance, voices near that spoke upon the shore of alien seas. There beat a throb of living interchange. Being felt being even when afar, and consciousness replied to consciousness. And yet, the ultimate oneness was not there. There was a separateness of soul from soul. An inner wall of silence could be built, an armor of conscious might protect and shield. The being could be closed in and solitary. One could remain apart in self alone. Identity was not yet, nor union's peace. All was imperfect still, half known, half done. The miracle of inconscience overpast, the miracle of the superconscient still unknown, self-wrapped, unfelt, unknowable. Look down on them, origin of all they were. As form they came of the formless infinite, as named lived of a nameless eternity. The beginning and the end were there occult. A middle term worked unexplained, abrupt. There were words that spoke to a vast, wordless truth. There were figures crowding an unfinished sum. None truly knew himself or knew the world or the reality living there enshrined. Only they knew what mind could take and build out of the secret supermind's huge store. A darkness under them, a bright void above, uncertain they lived in a great climbing space. By mysteries they explained a mystery, a riddling answer met the riddle of things. As he moved in this ether of ambiguous life, himself was soon a riddle to himself. As symbols he saw all and sought their sense.